My name is Gus Olsen. For the past 10 years, I've been meeting and flirting with women in real life. And in this video, I'll talk about how one pro athlete who was rich, successful, tall, and good looking lost everything over one girl and what that means for you. So in the country of Latvia, where I'm originally from, there was this basketball player called Jānis Timma. And not only he was quite a good basketball player, he was very good looking, he was tall, he was rich, and he was married to this one girl. And at some point, this girl left him. Now, there was a bunch of drama in the press about this. They had a public conflict, and he committed suicide because this girl left him. Proof being that when he died, on his phone, he had a message saying, "Please call me," directed to his ex-wife. Obviously, I want to make a disclaimer that it's extremely tragic that this happened, and I wish the guy's family the best. It's obviously a travesty, but I think it's also important to talk about this to prevent similar things from happening to other men like in this situation. A lot of guys believe if they're rich, if they're famous, if they're tall, if they're good looking, all of their women problems will be solved. And then you have this guy who was all those things, and that still didn't solve his women problems. And not only didn't solve his women problems, he committed suicide. So what happened? First of all, if you haven't developed the mental toughness required to deal with challenges in your life, but specifically in your dating life, to deal with ups and downs, to deal with girls leaving you, to deal with girls rejecting you, to deal with girls ghosting you, then you will not have a successful and happy dating life. And no guy is protected from that, no matter who you are. And this mental toughness has nothing to do with how you look, how tall you are, or how rich you are. Girls will leave you or ghost you regardless. And without this mental toughness, you're gonna suffer quite a lot. And the second point being is that only because you're good looking, tall, rich, and famous, it doesn't mean you're gonna have a lot of abundance of quality options. You might meet a lot of women, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna have quality options. And when you meet that one girl, you might suddenly become very needy because you're like, oh, well, I'm meeting all these girls I'm not interested in, but then this girl I finally meet, I truly connect with her, and she's sort of my only option that I've connected with, so I have to be with her. And then when this girl leaves you, you suddenly become very desperate and very sad. Otherwise, why would this guy get so low that he would commit suicide because of one girl? I mean, there are tons of girls out there. But in this situation, in his mind, this was the only girl that he could be with. And because he couldn't be with her, he had to end his life, which is obviously sad and tragic. But you can see how things can play up in your mind to that level that you only see her as the only option. So this is my main message to all of you guys thinking that, hey, I need to become rich, I need to become successful, I need to buy new shoes so I'm taller. All these external things you think that are gonna solve your dating problems, but they're not gonna solve your dating problems, because the real problem is your character. The real problem is your lack of mental toughness. And the real problem is your lack of skill to go out there and meet and develop quality romantic connections, many connections, so you're not depending only on one quality connection. And if one quality connection leaves you or ghosts you or rejects you, you have all these other quality connections that you can choose from. It works in any situation. If you're looking for a job, if you're looking for a rent, or if you're looking for a girlfriend or romantic connection. If all you have is this one option, then you're going to be highly dependent on that one option. And then once that one option rejects you, you are devastated and you don't know what to do. And this obviously happens with a lot of guys, is that one girl that they really like reject them. And when before that they were here, now they're emotionally here. And then obviously how low you go depends on your mental toughness. So if you're emotionally strong, maybe you go down here, but if you're emotionally more vulnerable, you can go lower, 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 and eventually you get so low that you think, well, there's no point for me to be alive. And this is what happened to this guy's situation. Again, very tragic. My condolences to the family, but we as guys, we need to be aware of this, and we cannot kid ourselves that money, good looks, height, fame, Instagram followers are gonna solve all these problems. No matter who you are, no matter how good looking you are, you're gonna get rejected, and you're gonna get rejected by a girl that you like. So if you cannot meet other women that you like, and if you cannot have this mental toughness to deal with these rejections, you're never gonna have a happy, successful dating life. Now, the next question is, how do you develop these things? How do you develop the mental toughness, and how do you develop options? Well, surprise, surprise, you go out there and you practice meeting women in real life. Number one, it's gonna give you the highest quality of romantic connections because you're meeting these women in real life. You can pick the ones who you talk to, and you can evaluate their personality in real life, not over the phone. And second of all, during this process of going out there and trying to meet women in real life, you're gonna face a lot of rejection, a lot of self-doubt, and a lot of resistance, which if you overcome is gonna give you a lot of strength, a lot of mental strength, a lot of mental toughness. Then once you encounter these rejections or girls ghosting you, you're gonna be able to deal with it. This process of meeting women in real life is really like an emotional roller coaster. It really gets to you. But it's good practice because you learn how to become mentally super tough. And as I've said many times, sometimes I meet guys that freak out over such a small thing. For me, it's a small thing, like one girl ghosting them. For a lot of guys, that's a big, big thing. While when I meet women on a constant basis and one girl doesn't reply, I'm like, oh, okay, well, doesn't matter. So you have to be able to deal with these emotional roller coasters. This is why this process of meeting women in real life is so beneficial for your character. Finally, if you'd like my personal help one-on-one on helping you in this journey to first of all develop options to decrease your neediness, and second of all to develop mental toughness to deal with these periods of rejections and ghosting, I work with students all over the world one-on-one to make this happen. When they go out, I'm on a call with them and I guide them how to approach women, how to flirt, how to ask them out on a date, and ultimately how to get over these tough periods when your mind is telling you cannot do this, your mind is telling you to go home, and if a girl rejects you, your mind is telling you to stop this. I guide them in these times of negative self-talk so they can come out on the other side successful. If you're potentially interested in my mentorship, check out the link in the description and book a call with me. Not only that, if you book a call to speak with me, I'll give you access to the Practical Principles Blueprint, which is a document containing videos, scripts, and even texting breakdowns that I only share with my private students, and I'll give this to you completely for free to reward you for taking action in this area. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.